Good morning and welcome back to Miniature Monday here on Gaming with ADHD, where today we're going to be working on Dungeon Saga Origins, which is what I wanted to work on last week, but my package hadn't showed up. So it is here today, though, and we're going to get started on it. Basically, I am taking this with me to Dice Tower West. Hold on one second. Sorry, folks. Child emergency. Anyways, so morning to Wolfhelm. Anyways, so today, basically, I'm going to be running demos at Dice Tower West, and so of Dungeon Saga, and so needless to say, we got to get them painted up because they are all brand new models. I got them primed last night. And we'll go from there. Anyhow, so other than that, I hope you all had a wonderful weekend. I have tried climbing the mountain twice, failed both times. I mean that literally. We have a mountain near us, and Peanut Gallery likes going up and climbing it. And we have decided we're taking a cruise in April. And the one excursion she wants to do involves horseback riding, and they say you must be below 250 pounds. I am not. So I'm going to be a little aggressive. We're going to see how well that works. See if I can't get to a much more reasonable gaming with ADHD size. But we'll see how that goes. Anyhow, with all that ranting out of the way, let's... all right, have fun, Wolfhelm. With all that out of the way, let's go ahead and we'll flip over to the table and we can get started. All right, so what you see here is sort of what I've got planned. Here are all of the undead. So we've got ghosts, zombies, dwarf revenants, archers, warriors, undead knights, undead trolls. So basically these are all out of the initial Dungeon Saga campaign, and then we have the 4 heroes. So we have a dwarf, I think that's supposed to be an elf, an elven archer, a human wizard, and a human barbarian. So, yeah, one thing you can keep in mind is that if Ronnie ever does a game that can involve a dwarf, it will involve a dwarf in some way. So, just kind of one of the, we'll call it quirks of Mantic. All right, so, ow. All right, and another thing we're gonna do with this particular project is we are going to use just the Monument Hobbies Pro Acryl paints. And see if we can't get this. See how well these come out this way. been sitting on some of these paints for about a year and have not even opened them yet. Actually, you know what? Screw it. Yes, I do have more. I am just going to use a new palette because this one's a mess. Anyhow, let's see here. Get my standard brush. That's another problem. So, crazy thing is, I actually have the original Dungeon Saga. And these miniatures are just such a massive upgrade. Clearly, it's going to be more difficult with some of these undercuts, though. All right, I will admit, folks, I am not sure how long I'm going to be able to paint today. My hand has been twitchy. And I don't know why. I've eaten food. I don't think that's it. But I'll just be sitting here and it'll twitch. Let's just say that that's not going to be good for painting. Looks like the primer didn't get all the way on. And that's what happens when you prime outside at 9 o'clock at night. All right. So I got a tan flesh. There. Not pale pink. Pale pink? No, that's definitely pink. Ivory. Definitely not a metallic. Yeah, we'll try something. Just a tiny little bit, so it should work. Because I don't really have. So I'm trying to use all pro acryls on these. I don't really have a. You know what? One is fine. We'll use a little bit of fair skin for the female archer, but flesh you say is meat. Yes, it's always on the menu. All right, this tremor is going to be like super annoying. I'd ask if you're enjoying your day off, Six World, but this is your normal day off, not a bonus holiday. But I still hope you're enjoying your day. All right, I'm glad I remembered to put that layer of white down first. Like, the flesh usually goes on pretty well, but to not see as much gray through the paint is nice. I just usually forget that step. Hey, Steven. Nice. Wait, kiddo's got school? He doesn't get President's Day off? You get the Friday off before the rodeo. Okay. Interesting choice. I mean, I could see that in like Idaho, not what I was expecting from Florida. I love these early stages where you're like, what is happening with that face? And it's just like, because, you gotta go back and clean it up and details and whatnot. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, I'm not saying there wasn't that's sort of what I expected was the reason. Just kind of weird. Oh, that's because the white's not quite dry. So, in the ongoing saga of Brian puts way too many potential projects on his plate. Yeah, cow pastures, swamps, orange groves. I mean, in fact, like the I think it's in Florida, but I know I know my church has a giant cattle ranch. I want to say it's in Florida. And they just own tons of land down there. Anyways, so in my my ongoing saga of taking on probably too many projects, I have decided I'm going to try introducing some straight up noobs to role playing. And to do so, I'm going to use the old WotC D20 Star Wars. Now you're probably all thinking, wait, why would he use that one? That's not a game that he's talked about before. All true stories. Also, not even like, I don't even have a big history with D20 Star Wars. But if you remember a couple of weeks ago, I talked about the couple at church that decided we were going to be friends. And I realize that sounds kind of disparaging, but I promise it's not. It's just funny to put it that way. Because I'm not very outgoing, so it wasn't my choice. You're thinking about Saga. This is like the original D20 Star Wars. Basically, Max Liao from Legion of Myth has decided is working on culling his collection. And so on his channel, he's been doing a Have Max's Crap giveaway. And he was giving away a bundle of Star Wars books, and I won. It's revised edition. It's not the original D20, but it's not Saga edition either. Yeah, no, I mean, easy to get confused. Steven, the funny thing is, it's the introverts adopting the introverts. That's the weird part about the whole situation. But they're nice. It's trust me, it's not a complaint. It's just a goofy observation is all. Anyways, he is a big Star Wars fan. Like we go over to their house, and he's got like Lego Land Speeder and Lego Chewbacca and like a bunch of other little Star Wars things. And like at one point they'd asked if we like Star Wars, and I didn't answer the question very well. I was distracted by something else. Surprise. And anyhow, so we hold on one second. He has 5 children under the age of 8. I'm not telling him about Star Wars Legion at all. I am not going to be responsible for that. Nope. 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 Actually, what he'd probably get a huge kick out of is the board game Imperial Assault. But I think he'd have more fun with the role-playing game. I don't know. We're gonna see. I'm gonna try something. I don't know what I'm doing. It's probably a mistake, but whatever. All right. I'm also gonna use some necrotic flesh. Even though I'm trying to use Pro Acryls, but I don't have anything of this color. I got a lot of zombie flesh to go with. Stephen Cross, Star Wars Legion is Warhammer, but Star Wars. mean, it's got its own flaws. Don't forget. I mean, you need cards. And while certain packs have certain cards, well, maybe you want the card, but you have to get the pack. But you don't want the pack because you don't want the models. You just want the card out of it. So it's got its own problems. Trust me on that. I also think it's a little bit of a problem in that, so like, I actually have some big issues with licensed properties. Because even when the licensed properties are done well, essentially it boils down to two factions. Star Wars, it's Empire versus Rebels. And I know, justify it however you want, where, you have the clone troopers, and you have, sorry, just doing some quick and dirty on these while we let those flesh tones dry. You have the clone troopers. Well, clone troopers are essentially, Imperials, and you have, it's, and then also you have the fact that okay, so if I'm going to play Rebels versus Trade Federation, well, the Rebels didn't fight the Trade Federation, and we're 30 years separated, so there's problems. And it always happens with licensed properties. You have your antagonist and you have your protagonist, and that's essentially it. Anyways, so that's kind of my nitpick. I'm not saying it is a bad game. Technically, you could say that Ewoks are Rebel Alliance. I realize you can sub-faction everything out, but again, everything still essentially boils down to the two factions. Now take something like 40K. You have the Empire, and you have 10 different factions within the Empire. But you also have, the Eldar, the Orcs, the Tau, Dark Eldar, trying to pick or remember everything not. No, and I get it. I'm just saying, at the end of the day, even if you sub-faction everything out so that you can get more ways to play the particular faction, you're still playing that particular faction. Or like Silent Mouse. So it's kind of a dumb nitpick on my part. I admit that, but it's just and I'm not saying that licensed games aren't fun. I'm just saying that's a drawback that they always seem to run into. That you just run into the two faction problem. But yeah, I know a lot of people like Legion. But yeah, end of the day, the cowards still haven't given us the Grand Gungan army. Yeah, I mean, that could be fun, but Curtis, are you thinking of the Star Wars miniatures game that Wizards of the Coast did? Which was basically a derivative of their D&D miniatures. And for the record, these are undead. I kind of don't care. These are not going to have as good a paint jobs as the heroes are going to get. Oh, by the way, Curtis, your box is going to go out after the paint stream. I'm going to go hit the hiking trail again, and then I'm going to go to the post office. And I'm also going to send Curtis's miniature off. Actually, I should send Max's off. I'm not printing anyone a 6-foot mini 6 world. I don't care how much you keep asking for it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Currently in the process of repainting my Galactic Empire army and regretting my decision because it's a lot. I mean, if it's Imperials, I mean, it's just a whole lot of white and black anyway, so it can't be that hard. I'm not shipping it in a coffin. Look, the rules of the miniature giveaway were a figure approximately this sized. Not a 6-foot miniature, but a person-sized miniature of that size. Stop trying to confuse the ADHD guy. It's not that hard. Look, I realize it can be done 6 world. I'm just saying I'm not going to do it. That's the key takeaway here. Not that it can't be done. I'm just not going to be the one to do it. Um. Oh, so anyways, so I ran into the guy at church yesterday and showed him that I'd got it, and he's like, "Oh, what's that?" And I'm like, "Well, have you heard of Dungeons and Dragons?" He's like, "I have, but I have no idea what it is." It's like, okay, got it. Now I know my baseline. And then I got distracted and I didn't get to finish talking with him after church. And remember, he's got 5 kids under the age of 8. So he had to leave. He couldn't wait for me. But I needed to talk to someone else. Anyways, so actually what you all missed from when I was opening the show, so Kim and I have decided we want to go on another cruise, mostly because we found like a stupid good deal for a week cruise. So we're like, we've got the time, we can do it, so we're gonna go. Oh yeah, so that's why. Come on, is it the gaming with ADHD story if it doesn't go all over the planet? Come on. Anyways, so we got signed up for the cruise, and then Kim was looking at it, and she like we kind of decided that like we didn't really want to do any excursions because like the last cruise we did an excursion at like every stop and it cost a ton, and we're kind of trying to do this on the cheap a little bit. And so but there was one, and it involves horseback riding, and it says that all participants must weigh less than 250 pounds. Now, in my defense, while I am not a small dude, I have like been pushing that line for quite some time. I mean, technically, I am even over said line. So there's a hiking trail near us. That's kind of nice. It's like almost 2 miles up, and sorry folks, I didn't realize I wasn't dry brushing on screen. But it's like 2 miles up, 2 miles back. Obviously, because it's not a loop, it's up and back. And so when like we found out about the weight limit while we were at church, got home from church, and so I was like, you know what? I need to just start hitting the hiking trail like every day. Yeah, Six World, dude, trust me, I don't blame you. We did a lot of excursions on the last one because that was actually kind of part of the reason for the trip, because it was while we were in England. And so yeah, we got to see all the places that we don't normally get to see. And so we got to see castles and stuff like that. This one, it's a cruise down to Mexico, and it's not that there's not necessarily anything to see. It's just we are trying to do it kind of on the cheap. But again, there's one thing she wanted to do, so I've got to. Brian's got to lose some weight. That's the short answer. And anyways, so the whole point to that story is that while we are out on the trail yesterday, I messaged the guy and I say, hey, I'm thinking about running that Star Wars game. Would you and your wife be interested? Now, I think he got super excited because clearly he's geeky enough that he knows what a role-playing is roughly, a role-playing game is roughly, even if he hasn't played it. And then you add in Star Wars, and so he's probably super excited. At least I hope he is. Anyways, so then there's this other couple at church, and we've been playing games with them periodically, like once a month. So I messaged everyone, and I said, all right, tell me your favorite Star Wars movie, episodes 1 to 6. And he's like, can we include Rogue One? I'm like, fine, I'll allow Rogue One. That one was actually decent. And so like, and the funny thing is I didn't actually tell the other couple, but they he's a bro. He'll play whatever. He'll go for it. But like message, I'm like, all right, so I'm planning something kind of crazy for all of us. So I need to know your favorite Star Wars movie, episodes 1 through 6, and your favorite character. Because what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make up the characters. I don't like for some brand new noobs, they're not going to want to sit there and make characters. That'll kill the excitement super easy. All right, that is not enough paint. That was in the wrong spot. Anyhow, so needless to say, I'm gonna pre-make the characters. The couple that's a little less nerdy, his wife came back with favorite movie being Empire, which I mean let's be honest, that's a safe bet. And favorite character being Han Solo. So I'm like, okay, female Han Solo, that could be fun. Her husband was like, well, Return of the Jedi and Darth Vader. So it's like, okay, well, you don't get to be a Darth Vader, but I mean, party could have a couple of Jedi, I guess. And then the first couple that I had asked about it, she said Rogue One, and then like the scientist guy. So it's like, okay. And then he said Obi-Wan from episode 3. So so what I'm thinking is, Kim, did you ever tell me your favorite character?
No, because I don't really have one, but I told you that my persona screams Princess Leia, so whatever.
Okay, so apparently Kim does not have a favorite character.
Well, I told you my favorite characters, and you said I can't be.
Oh yeah. No, let me rephrase that. She said her favorite characters were from the Ewok movies. I'm like, nope, not happening. Just nope. I don't. Whether it's the kids or the Ewoks, you're not playing an Ewok.
Yoda was the other.
Oh yeah. Oh, and Yoda. No, you don't get to be Yoda either. Come on.
I can really Yoda.
Right. In Sixth World, that's kind of the idea. Like I'll do pre-generated characters, and we'll see what everyone thinks. And so, like, I'd say probably do like a mini campaign. So say like 3 or 4 sessions. And then at that point, then let people make their own characters. That way it's not like they've got some time to get a feel for how it plays. Decide if they want to keep playing. I think I'm just going to call that good. That's a ghost, so surprise. I don't care if the Ewok show is canon Sixth World. I don't care at all. She is not being Baby Yoda. She is not being an Ewok. I'm the game master. I have made a ruling, and you can be Chewbacca and say nothing, like just like the whole game is, that's fine if you want.
You would not let me play.
You wouldn't want to play Chewbacca if that was the restriction.
I just want to win. Let the Wookiee win.
Look, you are not known for ripping the arms off a Gundark.
Are you sure? Are you sure about that?
Girl muscles.
Are you sure about that? Yes, but girl rage.
That's fair. That's fair.
Raging in my cage.
Two-way tie between Empire and New Hope. Favorite character being R2. Okay, Curtis, I have to say, the fact that you put C-3PO as a favorite character, I lost a little respect for you. That dude is way too whiny. Way too whiny. Actually, and that was actually one where, like I kind of thought about it, but like the droid character, like the rules specifically state, one of the other players is your owner. And so I didn't think that was a great idea. Basically, I'm just going to make everyone human. I realize that that's not necessarily Star Wars, but I think it's, again, we're dealing with at least 3 noobs to role playing, and so instead of, like, again, overburdening with like racial abilities and things like that. It's just like just keep it simple, stupid. So anyhow, C-3PO is mostly for okay, I'll give you that one. Still, dear Lord, is C-3PO whiny. So it's interesting that you point that out, Curtis. So you're not wrong that an RPG team should have somebody who's just be like, guys, really? Why are we doing this? But one thing that I have learned over the years is that especially when you start involving a licensed property, there are things you have to take into consideration. So like for me, an Ewok is just a stupid idea for a player character. They can't talk effectively. My group doesn't have someone like that. Explains a lot. True story. So okay, now I'm actually Curtis, do you mean a player team or a design team? Because Six World actually made me rethink my answer. Yes, exactly. Ewoks were a playable. So that's the other thing I think is that Ewoks were a playable race in D6 Star Wars. Droids were a playable race in D6 Star Wars. And no matter who you are, you come into a Star Wars role-playing game, and whatever you do is going to be compared to D6 Star Wars. Yes, I don't know about Edge of the Empire. I know they are in D20. That's kind of why I'm bringing them up. Like, I want my wizard to have blue robes, by the way. So that's what I'm doing. I think the official art has him in red, but I want blue. So with this, basically I'm taking player choice away in the interests of game accessibility. It's not that I'm unwilling to deal with those things. It's that I think they will add unnecessary complexity to effectively 3 or 4 brand new people. Hey, Mundo. Oh, Mundo. I need a new model. If you want something from Raging Heroes, I already have the files, so just let me know what you want. My friend is moving his family this weekend, and so was not able to sit down with me. So I apologize. Anyhow, so like I said, for simplicity's sake, I'm going to do all humans. We're going to yeah, we'll just do something simple story-wise. It's going to be set it's like the guy that picked Darth Vader. He doesn't like any of the prequels either. The prequels aren't great, but they're not the sequels, so there's that. And then so for right now, I'm going to do the two types of Jedi. The consular and the whatever the other one was. And they managed to escape the purge of the Jedi. The Rebel Alliance is going to be in its infancy. Again, the prequels weren't horrible. But they were also written by Lucas, so you can't really say that they weren't canon or his story. The sequels, I mean, the graphics were good. I cut them some slack in Force Awakens. I mean, I literally walked out of the movie. I'm like, it was episode 4 all over again. Why are we supposed to be excited about this? But my thought process was, with how much everyone had complained about the prequels, I looked at Force Awakens as sort of a quote-unquote, I don't want to say apology, but like a statement to the fans of, hey, we know you didn't like the prequels, and we know you loved this movie, so we're going to try and live up to this movie. That's kind of how I looked at Force Awakens. Oh, I love when primer doesn't stick properly. Now, I could be wrong that was the intention. But yes, as you just said, Sixth World, Rian Johnson just flushed it. And J.J. Abrams didn't do any better when he took back over for episode 9. To this day, I still haven't watched all of episode 9. I didn't see it in the theaters. We bought it when it came out on DVD. I fell asleep watching it. I've never gone back and tried to watch it again. Or Blu-ray or whatever it was. Dude. Yeah, like Finn was a wasted character. But he didn't fit the message. And then, like, they made big deals about, like, oh, Captain Phasma, she's a female stormtrooper, and then did nothing with her. It's like, you're going to make a big deal about these characters that mean nothing, or you're going to promote stupid characters. You know, like, oh, everybody hates Rose Tico because she's a girl. No, it's because she was a stupid character. Admiral Holdo, everybody hated her because she was a female character. No, because she was stupid. She, like, literally ruined hyperdrive. Like literally ruined hyperdrive for Star Wars. Because if the Holdo maneuver is valid, then all you ever needed was one X-Wing pilot who was willing to go kamikaze, and bam, there goes the Death Star. We're done. Yo. Oh, yeah, exactly. There are, so many problems with Rose. So many problems. None of which have to do with the fact that she's Asian or female. Literally none. This figure looks like ass right now. Like really bad. All right. Yeah, I'll be honest. Nothing anyone will ever say will redeem Holdo to me. Absolute waste of a character and a story and a blah blah whatever. Say whatever you want. Holdo is crap. This one Revenant is going to look so different from the other two just because of this lighter base. So, anyhow. Although it looked like she wanted to speak to a manager the entire movie. True facts, folks. True facts. All right, let's see. I need some brown. Go with some light umber. We got some fine mahogany. Got some dark umber. Anyhow, yeah. So the little scenario, like, again, the rough idea I have for a story in my head is that, like, so they're trying to find. Basically, they're going to try and find a base, like a new place where the Rebel Alliance can meet and hold up. That's not too far from the Galactic Center. Because, obviously the rebels need to be able to strike at targets. Morning, Hungar. How are you, sir? We're gonna do, and then no, maybe that doesn't work. I don't know. Basically just like sort of a chase type scenario. Pursued by the Empire, maybe one of them gets caught. Which I guess would just be episode 4. I don't know. So that was the other thing when I proposed this. It was just like, okay, so first off, this is gonna take a couple of months before I'm even close to ready. So, like, don't anticipate this next week. But it'll be an in-person game. Will make me stretch a little bit. And I still need to work on the Ninjas and Super Spies game. And now I've been enlisted to build a chicken coop for the guy that likes Darth Vader. Mostly because he said he didn't want to pay somebody $3,000 to build him a chicken coop. I'm like, well, if we're talking $3,000, I will buy it. I will build you a chicken coop. Because like work has some overtime available. But sometimes working overtime just burns you on your existing job. And I liked my chicken coop. I think my chicken coop came out well. So, and he says he said that he'll help me, and so I'm like, that's if you want to help to cut down the number of hours that it takes me to build it, that's, you know, I have zero issues with that. But then he's gonna pay me $50 an hour to build it. So say it takes 10 to 20 hours total, maybe. I don't know. I don't think it'll take that long. Then, I mean, even if it takes 10 hours, so 10 hours and I get $500, okay. And that'll be all tax-free. And like I already figured out the materials that we need, because I have the chicken coop plans. Good morning. So yeah, needless to say, Brian's got a lot on his plate right now, and Brian feels tired. To put it simply. Yeah, let's do camo green. Oh, and apparently Darth Vader guy, his sister and her husband are going to be at Dice Tower. So now I get to meet new people. I don't think this introvert is ready for so much socialization. I just really, all right, so I'm doing the wizard in blue, the barbarian in brown, the elf ranger in greens, I mean, for like primary color, and then the dwarf dude will be like, ooh, it'll be a metallic of some kind. I just haven't decided if I want to just do traditional steel or maybe a bronze of some kind. I'm actually going to mix some browns in with her greens. But for right now, I'm just layering in some green. It's just easier to cover everything in with green and then come back in and pick the areas I want in brown to get brown. I did not, Mundo, but I will look into that. I will actually look into that in just a second because my brain wants a break. Let's see here. So, Silver Key Lounge. How do I not like the page? Weird. It's a gaming bar in town, for lack of a better way to put it. All right, Mundo, you're going to have to... Did you send it to my phone? Oh, it just hadn't updated. Come on. Nexus Minicon. All right, here. We can show this. Share screen. Share screen window. There we go. All right, so Nexus Minicon. Let's zoom in. Where's that side window would go away? I don't need it. 2-day event, blah, blah, blah. Like, all right, that's not telling me anything. All right, I will say that I am interested, but that doesn't give me any additional information. Discussion. Oh, there we go. What's the info for being a vendor? We're offering 7 booth spots. Well, I'm not a vendor, so I don't need that. I just need like a demo table. All right. So, I will have to look into that more later. So, Cody, you're not wrong. Think of it sort of like a board game cafe, but like it's a bar instead. We went once. They were doing a promotion where if you come in and play, they were partnered with the guys that did Gloomhaven, and they're giving away like 100 copies of Gloomhaven or something. Like it was some, maybe not that many, but it was like 20 or 30. It was a lot. And it was the original version, so like I know they've done like a second edition, but man, I don't care. Anyways, and so I just thought it would be fun. We could go, we could check it out. And so we went, we hung out. It's a nice place. They have nice tables. They have a giant game library that you can use. I mean, we don't drink, but you know, it was fine. So yeah, it was definitely something. Like, the hard part for me is, do I go down there and play, or do I just play at home? Because like, I don't drink. I have a giant game library. So some of it is sort of lost on me, you know. But I mean, people like it. They've been open like 2 or 3 years. They opened, I think, during COVID. Oh, if I've not shown this to anyone before. All right, so these Pro Acrylic paints. First off, you take the lid off and it's sealed. Okay? No other paint does that. So it's not leaking already in like 90% of cases. And then on top of that, the inside of the cap has another seal. So that when you put the lid back on, it's still sealed. You know, obviously you've got the cap, but I mean, as long as you keep the cap closed, that's fine. Anyhow, but as far as their little convention thing goes, I'd be like, they're doing a special event. I can go down and run demos of Hellboy or Dungeon Saga. Kind of like I'm doing for Dice Tower. I don't know. Regardless, thank you, Mundo. No, I'm not a BattleTech demo rep, so I'm not going to do demos of that. Like, at least with like Mantic stuff. I get a credit with Mantic, and I can get more Mantic goodies because I like Mantic goodies. Make up some gaming with ADHD hats and shirts. I have thought about that, but I'm not quite sure what to do. For shirts. Although I would like to. Christopher, I got your message. I will respond. Also, Christopher, send me your address. Because I'm going to the post office today. Found a box for your stuff. Well, your guy. I mean, one figure, not really stuff worth of figures. But yes, send me your address so that I can drop that in the mail. Yeah, the King's War ambush sets are they're a good idea. I mean, it's what they were trying to do with Vanguard, but Vanguard ended up being just like a completely different game, and so that's why they went to the ambush sets, because that's more of a the ambush sets are more of an intro to Kings of War. Vanguard is just, hey, here's another game in the Kings of War world. I like this dark camo green. It actually plays off the regular camo green very nicely. I want her to have like a camouflage effect. Are you going to multi-base 6th world, or are you going to base everything individually? Hey man, is for Kings of War, it's not about being lazy, it's about being practical. Like, it's not like Warhammer Fantasy where you have to yank each individual model as the unit takes wounds. So if your unit looks full strength until it's not full strength, there's no reason to not multi-base. Oh, and Christopher, if you're still there, I have been struggling to pack up your miniature, which is why I haven't tried to ship it yet. Because I am deathly afraid of something breaking in shipment. Oh, I would be so pissed if that happens. Oof. No worries, Steven. That does not sound fun, especially in your situation. Of course, what are they going to do? Fire you? Hey! I'm sorry, I couldn't help it. I hope everything is going good, buddy. When's your last day, Steven? Ah, next week. Okay. I'll message you afterwards. Oh, that's true because you work weekends. My problem with multi-basing is I feel like it needs to tell a story and I can't think of one. It's a halfling army. So they're collecting food items for the stew pot. I don't know. I got nothing. Yeah, regardless, Steven, I do not envy you your situation. But you seem to be handling it like a champ. Even with as frustrating as it is. Okay, I mean, I've got more to do on her, but again, just a nice, simple color palette. I really like how that's coming out. I like how this is coming out. I mean, and I've only used 4 colors, 2 of which are green. You're not wrong, Six World. Yeah, it doesn't have to be fancy. Like, some people can go a little too nuts with their multi-base, but even just a nice, clean basing, but a unit that looks like a unit, hence why it's all on the same base. Can go a long way. All right. Yeah, the fact that I'm not trying to follow a particular paint scheme is kind of weird to me right now. But it's fun. All right, so I know I said I was going to do metallic for the dwarf because he's wearing all this heavy armor. He's still got stuff like this right in here, these sleeves. So I think I'm going to do him in red, obviously, since I just put some red on him. We'll get the red in, and then we'll probably call it for the day because I have been up since like 3. I am a bit tired. But I still have projects that have to get done. Even though they're probably not the projects Kim wants me to get done. But also, look for some extra paint streams this week because I've got to stay on task and make sure that I get these done. Got to get these done. I've got to figure out some stuff for Dead Zone. I've got to do some stuff for Walking Dead. Hellboy. Obviously, I was painting some stuff last week, but Hellboy is going to be on hold because I've got I've got a lot of Hellboy stuff painted, even if I don't have it all painted. But I have a lot of this stuff that I don't have anything painted. So, all right. So, what did we accomplish today? Got our 4 heroes, our blue wizard, our green ranger, the red dwarf, and the brown barbarian. Got a bunch of skeletons, zombies, zombie trolls, dwarf revenants. I'm gonna have to get some extra primer on him. That is unacceptable. Probably gonna reprime this guy too, because I hate how he looks a different color. Otherwise, got some good stuff done. It's been a couple hours. So, on that note, we'll be getting some videos done. Next Sunday, there's going to be a special episode of the 4-Color Cafe. We're going to be talking to Kevin and Sean from Palladium Books. So I'm actually kind of excited about that. Haven't had them on since Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Funny story about that. I wasn't going to be able to participate because this year church is at 8:30 in the morning, and Bear scheduled the Palladium interview for 10 o'clock Eastern. So I wasn't going to be able to go. Well, apparently this coming Sunday is a special edition church where it doesn't start until noon Eastern. I mean, it's local, so it's 10 o'clock. And so now I can go. So kind of excited about that. So we've got that coming up. I'm not sure if there will be a 4-Color Cafe this Wednesday. Thursday is going to be the second episode of GM Cody's Palladium Fantasy game. So I'll make sure to post a link over to that once it goes live. Let's see. Tomorrow, I think we're doing Star Trek Sojourner. And I've still got to get other videos up this week. So anyways, things are going to be nuts. I got a lot going on. Please be patient with me. Thanks for hanging out. But on that note, you guys go have a nice day, and we will talk to you soon.